book lovers, it is G-Swizz here, and I'm here today to talk about the books that I predict might just be 5-star reads. If you didn't know, this is a 7 on Sunday topic, and I am the host of 7 on Sunday. I will link the Goodreads page down in the description where you can check it out and you can participate in a topic in the future, or you can suggest a topic. And this week's topic is a topic that I wasn't really fond of back in the day when it first became a thing. Like, I remember back in the day, I believe BookTube back in 2016, 2017 made these videos predicting their 5-star reads, and I wasn't a big fan of that. I'm still very skeptical about the whole concept because I don't want to go into a book or series with the expectation that it's going to be 5 stars. It was really difficult for me to actually gather this list today. In terms of other books that I really do want to try out, I limit my expectations with those books. I mean, sometimes I have great pleasant surprises. Like the Malediction trilogy, I did not expect that series to be a 5 out of 5-star series, but it was for me. Or Daughter Smoke and Bone, did not expect that to be a 5 out of 5-star series, at least for me last year, but it was. I didn't expect those to be my favorite books of last year. I probably expected Sarah J. Maas to make that list only because I've read her books previously and I know that I gel with her writing style. I could expect that, but when it comes to a bunch of new authors, I struggle with the concept of expecting high, because if I have high expectations for everything I read, I'm more often likely to get disappointed. I think that's why when it comes to my reading life, I'm usually pleasantly surprised by things. However, I'm technically going against my unspoken rule of not having high expectations when it comes to my book series. I have a list of around 10 books on here, which are going to involve some authors that I have read before and some that I have not, but I've had high expectations in terms of these concepts, or I've just had high expectations based on the hype. So I've made a list. What I'm planning to do is by, I believe, the end of the year, or by the time I end up finishing all these books, I'm going to react to this video, and I hope that it's going to be a positive reaction. To be honest, I don't want this TBR to be a fail, but I mean, we'll see. So I guess without further ado, I'm going to get into the 10 books that I have 5-star predictions for. So unlike previous videos, I'm actually going to start off with the books that I don't yet own. I mean, some of them are obvious because they are anticipated releases. The first book I'm going to predict that is going to be a 5-star read this year is House of Sky and Breath. Yes, I just previously mentioned that I tend to gel with Sarah J. Maas's writing. Not everybody does. I believe that I'm at the stage of my life where I resonate with Sarah J. Maas's characters the most, and I really resonate with Bryce Quinlan. I love these characters. I'm actually currently rereading House of Earth and Blood. I am just enjoying my time at the moment. Now, there is potential that this book is going to be less plot driven, more character driven, or it's just going to be a bridge book. And what I have to say to that is, look, if A Court of Silver Flames made #1 on my favorites list of last year, then a bridge book for a sequel could probably also make it in my favorites. And I think the reason why is because I know not everybody relates to Sarah J. Maas's characters, but I tend to relate to her two currently recent protagonists, Bryce Quinlan and Nesta Archeron. And the fact that she's recently written books about them has excited me. So I reckon that this is going to be a 5-star read. So this is a 5-star prediction that I do have on my list. I thought that I would get the obvious out of the way first. The next 5-star prediction I have on my list is These Twisted Bonds by Lexi Ryan. This is the sequel, and I'm hoping not, but probably most likely the finale to These Hollow Vows. I really enjoyed the first book. I was so pleasantly surprised by it. I just know that the first book was a build-up to a chaotic sequel. I think in order for this to be a 5-star book for me, we need more Finn, because we did have a bunch of Sebastian and we did have a bunch of Bree in here. And I appreciate Bree as a character. I appreciate the world building and everything and all the plot that went into the first book, but I want more Finn. I want his character to be developed a bit more because he is pretty mysterious in the first book. Those are my predictions for the sequel of the series, and fingers crossed I'm right. The next anticipated release that I am hoping and I'm predicting will be a 5-star read is The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. The reason why I'm predicting that this is going to be a 5-star read is based on the hype, and I think I'm actually nervous to pick the book up now because it's not the updated version. I would kind of prefer to try out the updated version to see if it's possibly the best that the story can be before going into it. That's why I've decided I'm not picking up the independently published version at the moment. I would like to know what the differences are once both of them are published from the readers and the fans. The Atlas 6, I'm just hoping exceeds my expectations expectations considering how many people are praising it, how many people are hyping it up. For me, I'm more looking toward the hype of this one. And the final anticipated release that I'm going to put on this list. It better be epic. If it's not epic, then I am going to be so upset. I am predicting Kingdom of the Feared, which is the third and final book in the Kingdom of the Wicked series by Carrie Maniscalco. I'm predicting that it's going to be a 5-star read. Now that I'm fully on board with the series, now that I have fully bought into all of the series charm and all of the hype, now that I am fully invested in the two main characters and everything that's going on, I'm ready for an epic finale. And if the finale is not epic, I will be so sad. I'm really trying not to have high expectations for this one, but it's really difficult to help it. I mean, in my personal opinion, Kingdom of the Cursed was a really good addition to the series and really took the series in a direction that I'm very much satisfied with. I'm just hoping the series keeps on going in that direction and just gets even more action-packed, plot-driven, and we have more moments with Wrath and Emilia. I just need more romantic moments with them, but also I just need more plot. If this is all we're gonna get, it's gotta be epic. I move on to the books that I currently own. I'm gonna start off with A Fate of Wrath and Flame by K.A. Tucker. This book, I remember a bunch of people receiving it from the adult bookish box back in June, and I envy those people who got it because that is absolutely pretty, but alas, like, I don't mind the edition I have in my hand now. Like, the cover is still pretty. I heard many great things from the receivers of that book, and they were absolutely raving about it. They were hyping it up, saying that it was a really good fantasy new adult romance series. That's at least when I know. I can't be missing out. No. FOMO, not for me. I need to actually try it. And the cool thing about this book is that it's like a 500-page book, so it's chunky enough to sink my teeth into. I'm very much looking forward to giving it a shot. And even if I've never actually read anything by K.A. Tucker, I'm still kind of inclined to add this to my 5-star predictions because a lot of people are raving about it, and the people who have actually read it really love it. So that's why I've decided that it's going on this list. Hopefully I do get to it this year so I can let you guys know my thoughts on it, and hopefully it will be a 5-star read. And next I have to bring up a book from an author who I've actually never given a 5 out of 5 stars to. However, I really do like their writing style, and I believe that they might have done a better job with this series, especially based on the hype that it has been getting. So I've decided that I am going to give another 5-star prediction to Defy the Knight by Bridget Kemmerer. I didn't leave Bridget Kemmerer's Cursebreakers original trilogy with a good taste in my mouth. Let's just say that. And it had promising potential from book 1. I've heard book 1 in the series is really good. I'm at least hoping that book 1 in the series is going to be good enough. I put this on many 2021 TBRs. It just never got read. So for 2022, I am predicting that this is going to be a 5 out of 5 star read based on the hype. Now I gotta mention The Gilded Cage by Lynette Noni. No, I have not yet read the sequel to The Prison Healer, and I could put The Blood Trader, but I haven't necessarily read The Gilded Cage yet, so I'm just gonna stick with The Gilded Cage at the moment. I'm hoping that The Gilded Cage is a step up from The Prison Healer, and it's not necessarily a bridge book, but it just heightens the stakes even more. I already know a little bit of what to expect from this book based on the plot twist that was revealed at the end of the last book. So I'm very curious to see how that goes, and I know that this book is going to keep me on the edge of my seat at least. So I'm hoping that by it doing that, it will also compel me to give it a 5 out of 5 stars. I feel like a lot of people are going to laugh at me for bringing this book up, but not just because I'm bringing the book up, but because I got an edition. Like, I spent a bunch of money on an edition of this book and I haven't even read it. But I just saw this book and I just knew that it was one of the most beautiful books I've ever seen in my life. I'm gonna get judged so hard. But I had to buy it secondhand for a high price. But do I care? No. I'm happy I did it. Even though I haven't yet read the book. Hear me out, okay? I have the Fairy Loot exclusive edition of Once Upon a Broken Heart, and have I read it? No. Am I a fan of Caraval? No, not really. I've read the first book and it was okay. But yeah, I did this. But like, how could you resist such a beautiful edition with amazing pages, with the most beautiful end pages, the most beautiful reverse dust jacket art that I've ever seen in my life, with the most beautiful foiling on the cover? I mean, let me mention this again. Like, look at that. Oh my goodness. It is literally a beautiful book. That is exactly why I bought it. I know a lot of you guys are judging me right now. I get it. I have not yet read it, but the purchase was worth it. And you know, if I don't end up liking Once Upon a Broken Heart, then okay, I did it to myself. But this is still such a beautiful book that I am not going to say goodbye to it. I might be looking at this in a few years' time and be like, Jesus, what were you thinking? My hope is that I actually do like this book. And you know what? I think I am going to somewhat enjoy this book. As much as it is technically a spin-off from the Caraval series, apparently it's not like Caraval. People who have read Caraval say that Once Upon a Broken Heart is better. Some people do prefer Caraval, and that's fine, but I'm expecting this to be different from Caraval, but follow the characters that are introduced in Caraval, or at least follow Jax, who I believe is introduced in Caraval, and follows his love story. I'm not necessarily excited about this because it's a Caraval spin-off, but I'm excited about this because I'm very much excited to see a romance blossoming between a character who I believe does not believe in love or something like that, and a character who is looking for love. I don't know if that's the case. However, I think it is, and that's what it's exciting me and hyping me up about this book so much. The second last book I want to bring up on this list is The Iron Widow. I have wanted to read this book ever since I found the author's channel. I enjoy watching their videos. I was looking forward to it, but now I have higher expectations for it because it's out now, so everybody's hyping it up. But also, I've seen it compared to one of my favorite animes of all time. Not necessarily one of my favorite manga series. I actually prefer the anime, to be honest. I mean, the original anime, that is. And that is Neon Genesis Evangelion. And that's what I knew. Oh my goodness. That in book form, I need. I have high expectations for this book. That's why I have been putting it off for a while. I'm not gonna lie. Don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to rate this under 5 stars. No, I'm really hoping that this is going to be a 5 out of 5 star read based on the mech concept of this history imagining. I'm kind of nervous because my expectations are really high, but so many people are raving about it, so I don't know if I have much to fear. That's what I'm gonna say about The Iron Widow. I am so excited to read it this year. And the last book that I have 5-star predictions for is a graphic novel series that a lot of people have been raving about, and I just know I am going to fall in love with these characters regardless, but I'm hoping that my reading experience of volume 1 will be a 5-star experience. And that, my friends, is Lore Olympus by Rachel Smythe. I am so excited to read Lore Olympus, and I was going to read it early this month, but I kind of wanted to keep it for this video. I mean, I found it really difficult to find books that I would assume that I'd hopefully rate 5 out of 5 stars, but Lore Olympus is definitely one that I would assume. I've seen a few of my friends recently pick it up and have rated it 5 out of 5 stars. I've also seen a bunch of booktubers put it on their favorites of last year for those who have actually read it last year. So this is very promising for me, considering that I'm finding a bunch of booktubers on a wide spectrum. Rating this webcomic a 5 out of 5 stars is absolutely incredible. So that's why I've decided I'm going to put it on this list, and this is my prediction, and I'm really hoping that I'm right. Yes, that's gonna be it for this video today, book lovers. If you stayed till the end of this video, leave me a star emoji. Leave me 5 stars if you want to. I don't know, but like at least 1 will do. If you happen to enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet already. Join the amazing community of book lovers. And also, I have social medias. I'm at gswizzlebooks on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm also Goodreads. That's www.goodreads.com/gswizzle. And finally, I'm at TikTok. I'm at gswizzle on TikTok if you want to follow me there for some bookish content. I love you, book lovers, and I will see you later. Peace.
Started out with half and I flipped it into double. Started out with half and I flipped it into double.